You guys, today I have Judith Skinner on Word of the Day.
And y'all know that that's a miracle in itself.
She said yes.
Because I don't do these things. But it's okay.
I was like,
like
will you be on the Word of the Day?
And I didn't even hesitate. I said, sure, absolutely. I'll come. I'll come hang out.
She got to do a show tonight. This is Porgy number 8. And she's not double cast, folks. So she's been on every time.
Every time.
Killing it. The question I have for you is, or more of a statement actually. The statement that I want to talk about, or the word that I want to talk about today, is taking what you can use. Because we deal in this business, and in life in general.
In general, yeah.
With a lot of people that are coaching us, telling us what to do, taking what you can use, and then discarding the rest.
Yeah, everyone's got an opinion, and everyone's had a different take on their careers and how it's worked, or how they believe a person's career should work, and it doesn't necessarily fit into everybody's mold. There's not one set way to have a career or to build your business, especially nowadays. But the classical music realm isn't the way it used to be, and so we had this discussion where I said to you, you got to be flexible. You got to be open.
Yes.
Because it's nothing's ever going to be the same or the way you think it is. And if you go in there with one set, well, this is the way I know it's supposed to be, then you're always going to be up against a wall because you're just never going to be open to what a director or a conductor is trying to get from you. You have to be open and work your way through it. But as I said, everyone's got an opinion.
Everybody's got an opinion. I like to look at it, the metaphor of eating. You know, you see this big old platter, there's lots of stuff, but you can't eat everything. You'll get sick.
I mean, well, you could.
I mean, you could, but it would be a very unpleasurable experience.
You wouldn't be happy at the end,
right.
Maybe for about 5 minutes. But you just can't. And so you've got to look at that platter. And you can try things, you can taste a little.
And if it doesn't taste good,
okay, well, we're going to move on to the next. If something that someone is saying to you about your career, you already know because you've either tried it or seen how that worked, and it's not something that's for you, we all just have to be strong enough to stand up and say, thank you, but that's not going to work for me. And I think a lot of people are just scared to say no.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to say no.
And you know what? Sometimes when you say no, they come back with another offer that's
right.
better.
They respect the fact that you weren't going to waste their time and do something that wasn't going to work for you. You know, every offer for a job isn't the right offer. I mean, you really have to craft out how you want your career to, because we can all run around and just say yes to everything that someone offers us, and we'd be working a whole lot. We wouldn't be making any money, and we wouldn't be advancing our careers.
So you're saying be intentional.
You got to be intentional. And you have to kind of map out a path where you think you want to go. So at least you've got that route. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this. And hopefully everything that you do is a stepping stone that leads you to the next and keeps elevating you in your career. You got to learn something from it and get something out of it in return.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
So also, if you're intentional, then when the road gets rough, as it often does in this career, you know where you're heading. When the storm comes, you know you can keep going this way.
You know there are times where you want to be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. But if you have that path written out and you know what it is and you really are passionate about this career, because it's not easy. We're not in this to make any money. Let's be clear. We are not in this to become rich.
Some people do.
Can I say it for the cheap seats in the back? We ain't in this thinking we gonna get rich. So you have to have a passion for it. And it has to drive you to a greater thing at the end. I mean, every role that I do, I like to believe that I learn something not only about that role, but maybe about myself. I've done this role. This is my 6th time doing this role. And doing this particular production 2nd time, because last summer was the 1st. And it evolves. And you learn different things about the characters based on the people that you're working with each time. Because they all bring something different to the table. And so you just have to be open.
Intentionality, being flexible, and taking what you can take and then leaving the rest. That sounds like a recipe for success to me. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be at, we hope to all get to the height, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we'll get what we want, but we'll have a much better experience, and we will be personally fulfilled with what we have done. You'll be personally
fulfilled, and you know what? You'll work steadily. And you'll do the work that you know is going to fulfill you in the end. Because we can all say that we've taken some jobs and known full well that we shouldn't have said yes. And then we go and we miserable for like 6 weeks. No, you don't want to do this to be miserable. You could go take a desk job.
To be miserable?
You know, you don't want to come here to be miserable. The whole idea about doing this is that you're crafting a character and you're putting that character on stage, and every night something different happens. You got to be open and flexible to whatever it is that's going to happen, because this is live theater.
It's true.
And you got to roll with the punches, because you just never know. You never know what's going to happen on that stage.
Heck, sometimes it's more exciting for me when something happens and I'm like, ooh, this is new. I get to play with it.
Look, I've fallen through holes in stage floors. Things have fallen and knocked me in the head and knocked me out. But you roll with the punches. I still got up and showed up the next day, concussion and all. Yes.
On the stage.
Because we want to get that check.
Okay.
I mean, we love it passionately, but we would like to get
We would
paid.
like to get that check, because we got bills.
People got rent to pay. I'd like to eat at least one meal a day and be happy. Come on now. Come on.
You're right. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome, and we're going to have a great show tonight. Show number 8.
Show tonight. Show number 8.
Show number 8, and it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. No matter what. Even with the things that may happen that are unexpected.
So, look, guys, be encouraged. We hope that something was said that encourages you and helps you to keep going. I love you. You know what I always say. Keep that head up.
Keep your head up. Bye, guys.
Bye.